So what I've got here today is the Sargent World Performance Plus aftermarket seat. It's going to be replacing my stock seats, which are these, and this is the Sargent seats. It's going to be replacing the stock seats off of my 2018 BMW R1200RT. Mainly I was replacing this because of the fact that despite how great of a bike that is, the seats on it suck. I mean, they like suck really badly. I usually go for like 4 to 6 hour rides on that bike, and the seats are just so bad that it gets painful. One of the things that I've noticed about between these two seats is the stock seat here, it's kind of rounded in an upward fashion. So because of that, you get a lot of pressure on your tailbone. But on this one here, you can actually feel that it's caved in under the fabric. There's actually even a cutout down the center for your tailbone. And the same holds true with the pillion seat. You can see it's raised up here, but on this one, it's actually caved in, and also there's a cutout for the tailbone for the pillion rider as well. So that's the main reason why I went ahead and upgraded the seats. Just the stock seats were just way too uncomfortable, so now let's go ahead and get some comparisons between the two. I'm not sure how well you can tell in the picture, but the way the seat is designed on the stock seat, it actually caves in an angle on the back end of it, while the pillion seat of the Sargent actually flares out, which is probably part of the comfort of it. I'm not sure if you can really tell on the video, which you probably can't, but the way the front seat is designed, this one here, it actually flares out a little bit is what it looks like. It flares out somewhat on the sides. I'll have to verify that once I put it on the bike. But if that's the case, then it'll probably press on my leg and push my legs out, so I won't be able to have as good of a stand as you would on the stock. But that's just how it looks by the cut design on here, at least. I could be wrong. Okay, let's take a look at the underside of these seats. Okay, so here on the stock seat, we've got the plugs here. And these are because I've got integrated seats, integrated heated seats on my bike. And I went ahead and ordered the aftermarket seats with the heated pad in it as well. That's what these cables are for. And then here you'll see these are the front seats. We've got places for your tools. You got a little wrench, screwdriver, and this is the tool to remove the seat, or the screws that hold down the pillion seat. And on the aftermarket one, we actually don't have these. Instead, they've got a little pouch spot here. Probably put documents, I guess, inside of it. The pillion seat is just hollowed out under here. The aftermarket seats, this is where they put the tool holders on the aftermarket seat, is in the pillion. So again, you got the wrench holder. You got the spot for a Torx wrench. Now this part I didn't quite understand, but this tool here is designed to remove the screws that hold the pillion seat down to the bike. Now, for whatever reason, the designers of this thought it would be a great idea to move the rear pillion screw tool and put it under the rear pillion. So basically the only way to get to this tool is to remove the seat. However, this tool was designed to remove the screws that holds the seat down. So it becomes basically pointless having this in here because you'll never be able to access it. You can't access this. If you have the tool in here and the holder, then you're not going to be able to access the tool to remove the seat, or remove the screws to remove the seat. And if you use the tool to screw everything down, then you can't put the tool back in the seat because it's already locked to the bike. So quite frankly, that was just stupid design in my opinion. Although the seat design, I'm sure, is pretty good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do here is it pretty much has all the components on here that you're going to need. It's got the bolt and everything. The only thing is that you need the key lock and the heating mechanism control off of your stock seat. You need to move that over to the aftermarket seat. You got 3 screws here that holds it down, and you're going to need a T15 Torx wrench for that, which I've got right here. Okay, with the 3 screws removed, just slide it out. You got your little wiring here. If you press down on it and then slide the cable off, you got to make sure you press this down, otherwise it locks into place and you won't be able to take it off. So move it over to this side and just make sure that the little notch that's on here matches with the press piece on this side so it locks into place. Push it in so it locks in. And make sure you slide it into place. And go ahead and screw everything back together. Make sure not to over tighten it because you are screwing into plastic. You don't want to strip it, which you will do if you over tighten it. Okay, and that is actually it. Now everything's transferred over. It is ready to be used. Make sure it'll lock and unlock properly. Okay, there it goes. And one thing you can do before you install it is if you want to make sure that the heating element works, is you want to get an ohm meter and you want to test this to make sure there's a resistance between 3 and 8 ohms. That way you can test it without putting it on the bike first and running it and trying to figure out if it works or not. And here I'm getting resistance of 5.1. That one's coming in around 5.2 it looks like. Okay, so both of those should be working fine. So let's go ahead and move on over to the garage and let's install this. Okay, first thing you gotta remember to do, make sure you plug it in. Make sure you push it in far enough so that it locks into place. Now this part is the painful part. For whatever reason, they made this thing a super tight fit, like super tight fit. The stock one would just slide on so easily, but this one, not so much. Here we go. Now here's what I was talking about. The tool and the screws designed for it. So for whatever reason, they thought they had the brilliant idea of using the tool designed for these to be under the seat. I'm not sure what genius thought of that, but hopefully they will fix it. Because that is a really piss poor design. They really need to put this tool back up to the front seat where it belongs. Now I'm going to have to figure out where I can put this tool so I can actually access these screws, since it won't work under here. There we go. So there's one thing I forgot to mention. With the stock seat, you can have this little setting here for low and high sitting style, which you can do on this one as well. However, if you're going to have it on the low setting, you can use the seat as is. If you're going to put it on the high setting, you actually have to install these. You got 2 of them. You got 2 screws in here. So you'd actually need to screw this into the seat. I guess it supports it. But that's only if you're going to have it in the high setting. Me, I keep mine in the low, so I'm not going to bother with it. I'll just keep that safe somewhere so I don't lose it. As for this, I'll probably just stick it in this compartment here, I guess. Yeah, it looks like it should fit fine. Okay, so again, make sure you remember to plug this in. It only fits one way, so no worries there. Just push it far enough in so it locks into place. There you go, it's locked in. Just make sure it'll unlock. There you go. So that fits. Let's see how well it feels. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh dang, this is so much more comfortable than the stock one. I had somebody ask me what I liked about this bike once, and I told them I liked everything about the bike except for the seat. The seat sucked. The seat was like made from hell or something. Whoever the designer was for that seat must have hated people. Is the only thing I can think of. It was just that bad in my opinion. At least for me it is, because the pressure, like I said, the pressure on that seat is designed rounded, so all the pressure is on your tailbone, and that hurts after a while of riding. This one right here, it actually feels pretty good. That concave design on it. Yeah, no matter which point on this seat that I sit, it's nice and comfortable. Let's see how the pillion feels. Hey, that actually feels pretty good too. The concave design is actually really good. That cutout for the tailbone is nice. Oh yeah. Let's see if I'm right about this cutout. Yep, it definitely does flare out a little bit. I can feel it pressing out on my inner thighs a little, so the way it's cut, it's causing my legs to go out a little bit. So with the stock seat, my legs were going almost straight down, just a little bit out. But with this seat, it's pressing against my legs enough so my legs are actually farther out, which makes it a little bit harder to, where at least I can feel I'm got a different stance on this bike now when I'm standing up. It just feels a little bit different now because I can feel my legs are a little further out than I'm used to. What I've gotten used to at least. But dang, this feels good. I think my 4, 5, 6 hour ride should be really comfortable now. And that's how it looks on the bike. All right, well, this is the Sargent Performance Plus seat on a 2018 BMW R1200RT. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and y'all stay safe out there.